God wants us to have intermittent physical rest. And if you read the book of Proverbs, it says about 19 times, it talks about the sluggard and the lazy person. God is not talking about continuous physical rest. He's talking about intermittent physical rest. It would be a tragedy if my sermon ended here. Because most of the time, this is what we think rest is. Rest is intermittent rest, and the pattern of the Sabbath is what we think we need to continue for the rest of our lives. So we have a weekly Sabbath, we may have a 2-year retreat, or we may have a 3-month retreat, and if we think that is all that rest is, it is not. That's just one half of it. The American idea of life is work, 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 and then the weekend comes, and then we wash our clothes, do all the tasks, and then it's back to Monday morning, and it's work, 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 and the same cycle keeps repeating. And then we get 2 weeks of vacation in a year, which, being an employer, I give my employees just 2 weeks of vacation. I know that's terrible. But you get only 2 weeks of vacation, and then you wait about 6 months to go on this vacation, and you plan for this vacation, and there's so much pressure to enjoy this vacation. It's like, I am going to enjoy this vacation at any cost. It's like you're trying hard to sleep and you're not going to get rest. And then we pack so many things in that 1 week, so many things of activity that you do more work on the vacation and you need to come back and rest. I mean, it's so hard. It's a different system, and we need to find a way where we can rest. As I studied about the topic of rest, I read a bunch of resources. The two things in juxtaposition that confused me were, there was the topic of Sabbath. And then I read this verse in the New Testament in John 11:28-30, where Jesus said, I will give you rest for your soul. So then I put those together. So does that mean I get rest for my soul on the Sabbath? Infrequently? Intermittently? And I looked for an answer to combine the two, because that didn't make sense to me. And none of the resources that I read had that, until I realized, the more I thought about it, that there was a second kind of rest. There is another kind of rest. And this is the second half of my thesis. God wants us to have intermittent physical rest and continuous non-physical rest. God wants us to have intermittent physical rest and continuous non-physical rest.